Okay, so we've got VS Code set up, we've got live server going, we've seen how to create files and folders. So this video is just going to show how to get a coding web project up and running as fast as possible. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to open up VS Code, which again, this might open up into the last thing you were working on, but I'm just doing this from scratch. So I'm going to say open folder. Now let's say that I don't even have the folder yet. I'm going to go to my desktop because I'm just doing everything here. I'm going to right click right here, and you can do this in a Mac too. I'm going to right click new folder and say my project. Okay, so once that's selected, I'm going to open that up. All right, and there's no file in this yet, so I'm going to make sure I'm over here, like selecting this area, and I'm going to hit the new file button, and I'm going to make an index.html. All right, and close the welcome tab, and in here I'm going to put an exclamation point, and you could either click the top one here, or you can hit enter when it's highlighted, and then this all shows up here. All right, and let's just put a quick little h1 hello. All right, now we want to be able to see our changes in real time, but I don't see a go live option down here. So what I'm going to do is go to File, close folder, and then I'm going to open that folder again, which is just right here under Recent, but I tend to go to File, Open Recent, and here it is up at the top. And again, we couldn't see Go Live before because we didn't have any HTML when we first opened the folder. But now it's here, and now Go Live is here. So I'm going to hit Go Live. Okay, and that opened up my browser, and my browser and code happen to already be in this side-by-side orientation. But if yours opens and it's here, like, take a moment. If you're in Windows, you can snap it to the side. If you're on a Mac, like, take the time to make your web coding experience like this, so you don't have to spend all this time dragging your windows around and all that. Okay, so we've got our live server up and running. We've got our code here. Let's make sure that live server is actually working. Test. And look at that. It shows up right away. Okay, now let's just create a CSS style sheet. So another new file, style.css. Okay, and let's just change the color of the background. So let's say body background light blue. Okay, now we don't see that take effect here because we have to link our style.css file to our HTML file. So we're going to go in the head section here, and I'm going to start typing the word link. And this one at the top here, this is the one that we're going to want. So I'm just going to hit the enter key on my keyboard, and then it gives me the boilerplate link rel equals style sheet. And all we have to do is put the name of our style sheet in the quotes next to the href, and we're going to say style.css. And now that those are linked, now any change that we make in our style.css, we can also, see happen in real time. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the background back to white, and I don't actually need to do that. I can just delete this and keep that there. Okay, so all we have is that. Now the last thing I want to do to keep setting up my file folder workspace situation is I'm going to first slide this over a little bit. I don't need my web page to be half the page. If it's just open on the side a little bit, that's fine. And then I'm going to take this tab, make sure my CSS is selected, and I'm going to hit split editor. And now I have my HTML on one side and my CSS on the other. And the last thing I'm going to do is hit the Explorer button. And now I have all this room just for my code, and I can see my changes over here. Okay. And by the way, if you want to change the size of your text in VS Code, if you're on Windows, you can hold down the Control key on your keyboard and hit the plus key or the minus key, and you can zoom in and out. If you're on a Mac, it would be Command plus or Command minus to do the same thing. But yeah, once you're once you have your 2 files open here, live server is up and running, you're coding and stuff, you're good to go. And again, make sure this is Firefox. Like when you're coding, you should be coding in Firefox. That said, though, it can be useful to have Chrome handy because Chrome is the most widely used desktop out there. So, and there are some changes, some differences in the way that content displays on these 2 browsers. So, I'm zoomed in currently in my Firefox. Make sure you're always working at 100%. Like I'm at 110. There's 100%. I might zoom in just for tutorials, but make sure when you're coding, you're always at 100%. But yeah, again, live server. Like as long as I copy and paste this link into Chrome, like I can see both of these things happen at the same time if I wanted to. I don't typically work this way. Like I usually will code in Firefox, and then if I'm testing some things, I'll open up a Chrome window and test there. But for now, this is fine. Okay, and that's everything you need to do to get up and running with a web project in VS Code.